All right, ready? Everybody good? One, two, three. That's nearly precisely the correct bari sax tone. And being nearly precisely the correct bari sax tone is better than 99.9% of other high school kids playing bari sax in a jazz band, right? So that's really good. If you could just get, and you have this in your personality, I've seen it in class, it's not a bad thing, it's a compliment, it's a good thing. You have 10% more anger, and you should play that bass, that bari line with 10% more anger. There's one thing where you and Chandler have a unison part right before the groove switches to, what's his drummer's name? Cedar. Right before Cedar starts playing a solo in there, you have that thing where you and old Goofy Magoo over there are in unison. You're playing the same line. I would say in this song, you all got to listen across the band more, because the way the writer wrote this is, and I've never heard this before, but there's on this pyramid, the way they wrote down. So one part of the line goes to another part of the line, goes to another part of the line the whole way across the band. So that has to sound like one coherent lick across the band, even though it's coming in different sections. So listen across the band. And so for you guys, that's kind of hard because you're all way over on the other side. And for you guys, there was one like it came from the trumpets and it ripples down into the saxophones, and there was another one that went backward, maybe? I'm trying to think, but make sure that there's a smooth transition between when you're finishing one phrase and starting another. And when you start this, there was a lot of really great precision in the saxophones. I was really impressed with the precision. The only thing I didn't hear, and I didn't immediately hear a groove, right? And I think the thing with like high school bands that I always hear is like there's such a focus on getting the notes right, and getting this right and that right, that killer like this needs to sound like you're stage diving, right? Like at a show, for real. Like your hair's on fire and like, woo! I'm only doing this once in my life, ah! Right? Only maybe not that aggressively because it's a funk song. So like really let the wrist go. You can do that better than I can. I'm not as good a guitar player, but really let that go and like spank. Okay. You know, like more treble on your amp and really spanky. Edward. When we always call you Eddie, Edward. Hey man, when the solo thing starts happening, and who is this young person's name? Peter. So I don't know the names of any children who go to school here. I've been teaching here like a decade. Edward, when Peter started playing that solo section, you were still playing pretty short stuff on the piano. That space needs to breathe, right? Because it's a different color than the rest of the song, right? So it's a solo thing, and there needs to be like, just play a chord. You know what I mean? Like let that hang out. Did you notice how the groove felt really good when Cedar started playing his solo? Right? It didn't feel as herky-jerky, and there was more space, and it breathed a little bit more. You have to make the really funky part feel like that too. Like right from the minute, like people's butt cheeks should just be shaking a little bit. From the minute the saxophones play. Like if you don't feel actually like one of your butt cheeks shaking a little bit, you're doing it wrong right off the start. So that'd be the first thing, the groove. Also, when soloists are playing, the background sections need to be a little bit softer. I need a little bit more lead trombone, yeah, real nice sound. And there are chords in the trumpets that are real complex chords that are behind some of the, actually not that really that complex, but I think I heard like a sharp 9, sharp 5 something, and it's a pretty compressed voicing back there.
You mean in the last part?
Yeah, that needs to be really tight and really listening to Sarah. Sarah, good job. There was one lick that you hit the top note on, and you did the right thing. Like a little bit earlier in the lick, it was a little bit funky going up, which, man, welcome to the world of the trumpet. But you nailed the last note, more than I almost fell off the thing. Here, make sure you do that, right, and blow all the way up through that. And then if they don't do it with you, you know, hurt them.
Yeah, I think the problem was that I was single tonguing, and I really need to tongue that.
It was really clean. Actually, it wasn't so dirty I didn't hear it. Actually, I wouldn't have been overly critical of it. Actually, you could doodle tongue it, like more arrow at the top of the tongue with an arch, like that. Only don't stick your tongue outside of your lips. That's not gonna work. but you could doodle. I would doodle tongue it, me, but I doodle tongue real easy. So you can figure out how to do that in a day. Because it's a weird thing. Do you doodle tongue? Yeah. I haven't played trumpet for so long. I can't even make my mouth do that anymore. Listening to the center of the section, so a little more lead alto, a little more lead trombone. Lead trumpet was good. There wasn't too much or too little. And get right into the groove right off the bat. You too, Chandler. Like you and Cedar, or you and Mossmo, or you and whomever is playing, you just need to be like attached at the brain and soul right from the start. So yeah. Anyway, and good solos. Play nice, dude. Yeah, all y'all. And just play, like interact more. There needs to be more conversation going on in the band. It's art, not math. Like people say, oh, there's this like big thing between math and music.
Music is math.
Right, yeah, those people are idiots. It's art. Do that. Alright, how much time do I have left before I have to go? What time is it? I have to go. I have 4 minutes. I can come back. I have like some breaks. How late are you practicing?
So 5.
I can come back throughout and
Okay.
check.
Alright.
And say something. Sorry.
That sounds good.
I kept it short. I only talked for like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's pretty short.
It's not like we need a lot of work on Little Brown Book.
Huh?
It's not like we need a ton of work on Little Brown Book.
No.
Oh wait, maybe
Bella.
we do actually.
You are a bad human. That's awesome. Like that sounded good. It sounded really good. Yeah, the sax section sounded good too. Like it sounded clean. It sounded real clean. The trumpet section sounded clean too. I was like, oh, there's all like 6 of y'all. That's a lot of trumpets.
Well, they play 5 at a time.
Oh, do they do? Okay. Because they sounded clean. They sounded good. All right. I have to go do parents teacher conference. I'd rather play jazz. Actually, anyway. Yeah, you sound great, guys.